All right. Peace and blessings, beloved family. How's everyone doing tonight? Welcome to another amazing episode of Who's Naked Up in Here. I am your host, Mr. Witz, alongside my co-host, the amazing Gifted. Um, Tonight's episode will be dedicated to our brother during his trying times. So let's all show some love for the Magus Gustav Salas. Y'all please open up your mics and greet each other the way family do.
Hey.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everyone.
Yeah. See everybody here.
It's hard for me to speak. Wit's hair is looking too good. It's hard for me to speak.
Oh, wow. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm trying to see what's going on. Oh, okay. That's what's happening. Gifted, you're sharing the screen. Thank you for that. Big love. I guess we're missing you right now, brother. You're definitely missing your energy. Um, just your presence. It's always magical. So may the Most High continue to protect you for us. Watch over your family during this time. This coming from your extended family here soon. Everybody here pretty much familiar with the room, so I'm not going to go through the whole spiel of how we do things. You all know the system, so let's please get those hands raised so I know that you're here to help keep this space. And tonight we're going to start off with the amazing work of our sister Jane's spoken word. Y'all please open up your mics, show some love, and welcome her onto the screen.
Let's go, Jane.
All right, Jane. All right, Jane. Let's get it.
Jane.
All right. It's good to be here tonight. It's good to see you guys, your faces, and all here for Gustav. And I just want to open with this piece to bring peace, love, and light to him. In the sky world of unnamed beginnings, before illumination, I sang the song of creation. In the dawn of new days, I dreamt you into reality. A raven's prophecy awakening in the quiet storm of manifestation. The sound of water, wind, thunder, storm. On the wings of a timeless sky, teardrops flow from the mist of the moon, glistening as the sun whispers poetry, cloaking the universe in balance and harmony. In the circle of creation, ancestors ghost dance on native soil, immortal echoes heard in 1,000 tongues, tethered to yesterdays when morning stars rise. In the great circle of life, you will hear me, you will see me, you will know me. Peace, brother poet. Albie and I are thinking about you and sending you love and light.
That was a beautiful share. Great breed, Shane. He just texted me. Jane, spoken word, great share. Thank you so much for that. I'm sure if Gustav was here to listen to that one, he would appreciate it. And if you would like to, no pressure, you can share another piece with us tonight.
You don't mind, I'm good with just that one piece.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Y'all open up your mics and show some love to Jane's spoken word.
Woo!
Read, Jane. Thank you.
Dang, great read.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Jane, for the blessing.
Indeed. Also, I think I failed to mention, there is a GoFundMe. It's posted in the chat. If you are in position to help, um, anything would be sufficient. So please tap in, share if you can, um, spread the word to those amongst you who you think can, and let's try to help our brother out the best way that we can. Thank you for opening up again tonight, Jane. Um, I'm not quite ready to share, but I will in a moment. Let's move on to our next artist. Y'all please put your hands together, open up your hearts and your mics, and show some love to Generalissimo, Mr. Brian Fanko.
Thank you, Mr. Woods. And Jane, you know I love you, and that was a beautiful piece. Thank you very much. Ooh, today has been a rough day when I
Good to see
heard.
you.
Yes, yes, it was a rough day because I've met the two times that I've met him, the few times I met him in person, he's just a genuinely personable, loving, kind individual that just really has no pretension at all. And it hit me a little harder because I'm not that close to him, but I just, he gives he gives of himself to everyone, whether you know him or not. So that's who Gustav is. Okay, I'm going to read two pieces, I think. The first is called, if I can get to the top of the page, bear with me. A most honorable warrior's death. So many poetry people I know have said poetry has saved their lives. I feel the same several times over. The same story is told in a million different voices around the world. Poets are warriors. Poets are fighters. Poets are Olympic pugilists. Our enemies, our nemesis, our sparring partners are simultaneously our mirrors and our pasts. Our present tense existences are fleeting moments in which we contemplate our lives, our decisions, our relationships, our families. Our words run through our veins to our hearts and through our nerves to our brains. We spit them out as poetry, exposing them to the elements, sending them to a glorious death, memorialized on page to be read both out loud and in silence, not only by us, but also others who have experienced pieces of our lives in their separate lives. Their epitaphs become our epitaphs. Our poetry is a universal graveyard that transforms death into life. And then,
Woo,
Oh shit, that was
nice, so nice.
That was great. That was freaking fire, brother. Thank you.
thank you, because poetry is all about revival of the words over and over again. And then this is Lady Poetry. Poetry, it is no secret you are a woman. You are the goddess of midwifery. Each poem I give birth to births something inside my soul I never knew existed. Poetry births emotions, tears, laughter, anger, and confusion. Poetry births outrage, protest, justice, and humanity's ability to cure society's ills. Poetry births voices that did not know they were capable of eliciting everything poetry births. Poetry births words from minds that never knew they could communicate something visceral. Poetry births poets who read and hear poetry created by other poets, then find poetry inside their minds that will be read or heard by others who will create their own poetry, creating an infinite loop of other people creating poetry. Push, push, push. One more. You can do it. Push. Oh, congratulations. You've given birth to a poem. Excuse me. Thank you, everyone.
That was genius. Another great piece. Yeah,
Brilliant.
open up your mics. That's right. Go ahead. Go ahead, Whisper.
That was absolutely brilliant. Oh my God. And if Megas gets to hear this, which I sincerely hope he does, I know he would love that.
I'm pretty sure he's heard it in the past, and it's been a signature piece in the past, and I haven't read it in a long time. But I think that both of those pieces needed to be revived, and we all find that we have pieces that we stop reading, or and we just let sit for a while, and then they come back and they become appropriate at certain times. And then they get put back into rotation.
Well, one thing I know about Gustav, he loves women and he loves poetry, so that was perfect for him.
And Mr. Witz, thank you always for this space that is so generous and welcoming. That is what you're about, sir.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for that that offering. And this is home. This is our space. I couldn't be here to keep this without you all. So, the blessings is universal. And y'all show some love for Generalissimo one more time. Y'all here?
Always
Can y'all
good to hear you, Generalissimo.
Thank you, Pooh. All right, let's keep it going. Let's make sure we pouring into each other, all right? Especially during this time. It's trying as it is. So let's do our best to keep the space, keep the energy up, and keep each other alive with that feeling of being alive and gratitude for each other. Yes, I'm going to read, Shaki. I'm going to read something. I'm just trying to find my headspace right now. So I'm going to vibe with everyone, and I'll eventually jump in. But thank you for asking. Thank you for being here. At this time, please open up your hearts and your mics, and let's welcome into the room Miss Marianne Peterson.
Hello.
Where y'all at? I need y'all energy tonight. I think y'all being a little too
What's up?
silent. Let's not let
Marianne.
what's happening weigh too much on us. Again, Gustav is always the energy in the room. So in his absence, let's make sure that we honor him properly by keeping each other lifted. So again, please unmute yourselves and show some love for Marianne Peterson.
Let's go, Marianne.
All right,
Marianne.
Marianne, we're
Yeah.
ready.
So thank you.
Okay. This one is based on a rhyme prompt. The rhyme prompt was imperfect. It had to be 15 words at the max. And I wrote this on the 18th of this month. And it's called Imperfect. I'm imperfect. I have flaws. My flaws are only part of me. That's the first one. Second one I'll do is called Help Me. I wrote on the 15th of this month. It's also based on rhyme prompt. The rhyme prompt was Help Me. And I wrote this at 8:48 p.m. Eastern Time on the 15th. Help me deal with the stress in my life. Help me by being there for me when I am having a rough time. Help me by giving me a shoulder to cry on. Help me by giving me positive feedback. Help me by understanding my feelings. Help me by letting me cry when I need to. Help me by holding me. Help me by hugging me. Help me by listening to me. Help me by giving me space when I need it. That's the second one. And then the last one I'll read is also based on rhyme prompts. The rhyme prompt was ripples. It had to be 15 words at the max. And this one I wrote on the 15th of this month as well. And it's called Ripples of Our Love. Ripples of our love will last for generations. Ripples of our love are forever. That's it for that one. No, it's not.
Thank you, Marianne. Y'all open up your mics and show some love, please.
I love that last
Marianne.
one, Marianne. That was dope.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Awesome.
Marianne.
I
Thanks.
love your micros. They hit
Thanks.
so hard fast.
Yeah, I'm proud of you on your journey. How we coming along with this next manuscript?
I'm on page 53 of it pretty much right now. So 7 more pages to go and I should be done with it.
Awesome, awesome. Keep pushing your pen.
Yep.
Y'all show some love to Marianne one more time, please.
Marianne.
Well done.
That's what's up. And Jane, your screen looks so beautiful. Kind of want to pin you on my screen. I'm loving that site. Let's keep it going. Y'all open up your hearts and your mics and let's show some love for Black Silver 47.
Black Silver.
Let's
Okay,
go.
Go in.
What it be like, everybody? All right. So I got 2 pieces. The first piece, let me get myself. The first piece I don't really have a title for. The first piece is untitled, and the second piece is called Summoning the Reaper. So we'll start out with the first piece. The first piece is really short. The second piece is a little bit longer. So let's go ahead and start out with the first piece. All right, here we go. It was one of those days. I felt like I was on vacation and hadn't gone anywhere. All I did was have a cup of coffee and play my favorite song. Same rotten cup, same song. So what's this feeling? Whenever I get this familiar bliss, something takes over me, like I'm someone else. Maybe this is God's way of saying hi. And that was the first piece. And moving on to the second piece, Summoning the Reaper. This is an interesting piece. It's an interesting piece. I almost want to just like dedicate this to the ancestors and like those who have passed on. So I'm actually going to go ahead and do that. Just give a shout out to the ancestors right now. All right, here we go. Summoning the Reaper. Let's get into it. Hi, my name is Alice, and the rabbit hole just got deeper, but only for the believers. Reached into the ether and brought fire back and summoned the Reaper. So scary. Some may laugh and some may cry. Some may live and others forgotten in time. This is a bad sign. Yield to the dark omen. Psycho pumping out justice. What's the difference of right and wrong? Here come the Reaper singing that same haunting song. He was behind your left shoulder all along. 13 black cats, 4 lost souls, and 666 crows. I hope I live to be 100 years old. Truth be told, I like to smoke, but the Grim Reaper cannot be bought or sold. Only God knows. Still, I wonder why. Why do we have to die? Those are my pieces. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for having me. Always love to be here.
Wow.
Thank you for the share. That first piece was really significant with, God's way of speaking to us, God's way of, tapping in and whether greeting us or awakening us or just awareing us of his presence. That's what I got from that. So I appreciate that, man. Thank you for your share tonight.
Thank you.
Did anybody else besides me hear in that second piece like a cadence and a wordplay that just really reminded me of Gusta? Did anybody else hear that, or was it just me wishful thinking?
I love that. I love that. And I can identify with it now that you said it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you, Black Silver. That was awesome.
Thank you.
So y'all show some love to Black Silver 47 one more time.
Black Silver, always glad to see you.
Thank you. Nice to see you, Nemo.
Let's keep the energy flowing. Y'all open up your hearts and your mics and welcome to the room, the amazing Whisper Poet.
Thank you so much. I have two pieces.
Hey.
The second one, Nemo is gonna read with me, a collaborative read. So I'll talk about it in a second, but I want to read this other one first so he has time to get ready. I am going to read to you Brothers in Arms. It is a poem that Coach Ja prompted me to write, and I want to read it in honor of Gustav because he is always keeping us mindful of what's going on in current events, keeping us mindful of having a better society and a better world. And I never got to talk with him about this piece yet, but I know that he would dig it. So Brothers in Arms. Oh, the rockets on the tanks go thundering down, pounding down, firing round. Tonight, on a continent across the world from where I rest comfortably in my bed, there are two little boys. They're not brothers. They're brothers in arms. We judge situational friendships to be less worthy, but what happens when your situational friend is the only friend you have in the whole wide world? Alexei hasn't seen his mother since the night their apartment was blown apart by DPRK missiles. DPRK, A, B, C, D, F, G. What the fuck does that label mean to me, to you, to him? What does that parentless child need to know besides the fact that his new friend is the only person he knows? Trauma bonded, blood brothers, next of kin by virtue of organizational sin, huddled together, hiding from predators walking the streets to the beat of the rhythm of the tank tracks on their grind, behind a dumpster, half flattened with chunks of concrete larger than cars, hugging for heat, hugging because we seek contact when the world no longer makes sense. Cardboard is the only padding from the rubble-strewn ground. The smell is burned dirt and something metallic that clogs the back of the throat. It's almost enough to quell the gnawing hunger in their stomachs. Tomorrow they will have to find food and water. They sleep fitfully without resting, fearful of being found, fearful of being lost, afraid to wonder what any of this means. And the tanks roll incessantly in a grisly lullaby in their dreams. 1 child, 2 child, 3 child, 4, 30,000, 300,000. Why is even one acceptable damage? Have the fruits of our loins become worth so little that it's okay for them to be used as pawns on a chessboard of political ideology? Except there will be no winner in this hideous game. The news says there are between 30,000 and 300,000 displaced children in this playground of horrors. Displaced. Such a tidy little word for the purpose of rational discussion. Let me slap the mouth of the human mole who dares to refer to what we are doing to our babies as displacement. They reversed Roe v. Wade because they said life begins at conception. Do they not give a damn about death? Is it all just lip service? Bring Roe v. Wade back if for no other reason than to send abortions in exchange for the children to satisfy the hunger of the gods of war. Displacement, disruption. We need a resurrection. Would God be willing to fix the aftermath of this hideous insurrection of hate and greed that has sucked the life from an entire country of children? We promise to be good. Don't worry, say the politicos. Kids are resilient. Ship over some crayons and coloring books for art therapy. Army guys say Marine guys eat crayons. But those can't feed a child. And they may be breathing, but they haven't survived this. We have perpetrated the deaths of their hearts, 30 to 300,000 strong, and you can't Reiki the heart chakra of the living dead. Starlight, star bright, this pile of rubble they see tonight. I wish I might give them the wish they wish tonight, that they have their parents back, that their homes are not destroyed, that they can go to school again, that they can bicker with other boys about whose bike is faster. But we were too greedy. We were too unwilling to give grace, too unwilling to decide that resolution was the only possible solution. Because it takes effort to understand. It takes work to compromise. So much easier to fall into anger and hatred, and innocence was too sweet a candy not to be sucked into gray by evil. It was easier to destroy a country and cut families apart like an apple on the counter of the kitchen of politics. But the fallout is the apple seeds falling to the floor to be swept away and out the door into the cruel world that does not care or understand that these are fragile. We are throwing away pieces of our future, the children. We are crushing them under the tracks of the tanks. The news says 30,000 to 300,000 children have been impacted by the war in Ukraine. And I don't give a shit about the power of 10. I care about the power of when. When will we make them safe? How can we make them whole? Where can we point to a soft landing when the only ground is the quicksand that formed from the piles of rubble they tried to whitewash with the sludge of political ideology created by pedagogues with PhDs in demonology? This gridlock is made of steel and reinforced with the actions of men who have no feels for the trauma they are inflicting. They huffed and they puffed and they blew the houses down. Grab your suitcases, little boys, fill it with trauma and spent rounds and get the fuck out because you don't matter here anymore. B-I-N-G-O, bang, bang, run, run, go. Give them earplugs for their ventricles. Send crates of lead aprons to protect baby skin from heavy metal tears. Send new wagons because their radio flyers are full of landmines and concrete grounds, the compost of a dead country. They could make Lincoln logs of concrete chunks and mud from mortar rounds and mother's tears and rebuild something if they would just stop fighting. Innocents chemically reacted with tracer fire to form jaded spirits and child bodies with old men's eyes. They play in a rain made of ash and jump rope with shredded flags because home is a pile of rubble. Home is where the hearth was. They swallow violence and mayhem for snack instead of latkes. Birds perch on piles of debris and sing songs of death and destruction. A child's life should be technicolor bright, waiting for the Mr. DeMille of life to call them for their close-up. But the only close-ups these days are monochrome dirt beige. It's not artistic, just nihilistic, and to expect anyone involved to show some fucking care or concern seems unrealistic. We have taken our greatest joy, the thing that unites us all, young, old, black, white, red, brown, from the Antarctic to the Arctic crown, the love of children, and cast a curse made from politics and quid pro quo, from greed and self-exoneration, and birthed a rudderless juggernaut of war, devoid of any higher ideal than to push a button. We have made our babies into first-person shooter game in a war fueled by a video revolution where everyone spectates and no one does a goddamn thing to stop this madness. And there is no winner because children are dying and starving, and they're cold and scared and hiding on cardboard behind dumpsters filled with chunks of building, hugging another child whose name they would never have known if we were better humans. Their future's so bright they gotta wear shades when the explosives rain down. Hush, little baby, don't be afraid. It's all gonna be okay. Because I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. An army of the dead to greet the rising sun. Poem. All right, Nemo, I'm ready when you are.
Why are you crying, child?
He is lost to me.
Is he?
By his own words, yes.
That is his choice?
You took him from me.
No, child.
You gave him to me. You gave us to each other, and then you took him away.
You chose. He chose. This is the outcome.
But he loved me. He loved me, and I loved him. I still love him, and you made him leave. Why did you make him leave when I need him so much? You gave him to me. You gave me the apple.
You took the apple.
I am the apple.
Yes, child.
He wanted me. He loved me. Why?
I did not make the apple to tempt you, child. I made the apple so you could choose. I am God. I have free will. Created you in my image. You have free will because I gave it to you. I gave you the apple so you could choose.
He did choose. He chose me.
Yes, child. And then he chose elsewhere. No, you must make your own choice. Now you must make your own choices. What will you choose, child?
I made my choice. You created me in your image. Your love is eternal, as is mine.
He does not choose you, child.
I cannot change my heart. I gave him my love. My heart is true, and I cannot love another.
Then the path you choose will be a lonely one, child.
I love him, Father. You put him in my path. I gave him my love. I can't unlove him.
You love him, but he has made his choice. You are not his choice. What will you do? What do you want?
I want him to be happy. If he's happy, I can survive losing him.
You are strong, child. Your heart will survive the loss of him.
No, Father, you are wrong.
You do not believe in your strength, child? Have faith. For your strength is my strength that I have given to you. You will survive this.
Yes, Father, I will survive it. But in living, I die. For to live life without my heart is no life. And my heart is already dead. Died when he left. Oh.
Wow.
Thank you both. Ain't that's the group piece with you and the Megas, isn't it?
So I wrote the poem as I called it a conversation with God. And I wrote the poem, but I never performed it because every time I would try to do both voices, it just didn't work. And so I had never shared it with anybody. And I was on with him one night and I was like, I have this thing and I don't know if it's really good, but what do you think? And he was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, let's absolutely do this together. And he was so excited about it and we did it. And it was awesome. So, yeah, thank you, Gustav. That was for you, darling.
Yes, I remember the first time hearing you two share that energy and you know how big Gustav is. When you hear his voice, it carries. It was the perfect script for him. Um, you know, it just took me back to that place. Once I heard it, once I heard what was coming out. So thank you for reenacting that. Thank you for um, guiding her and being Gustav's replacement in that Nemo. That was dope.
Thank you, Nemo.
Yeah, that was spectacular, both pieces.
That's what's up. Y'all show some love one more time, please.
Beautiful pieces, Whisper. It was an honor to read with you.
That was great, you guys.
Awesome. I know it's a rough time right now. And Gustav's presence weighs heavy on us all, or shall I say his absence, weighs heavy on us all. And I see all over the community, people have been lifting him and keeping him in his prayers, keeping him in our prayers. But again, we need to be the energy that he is, in honor of him, I don't think I've ever seen him in a subtle moment. You would have never known he was having these hardships because he's so full of life. I don't want to speak to him in a past pretense because he's still here with us, and I just pray God continues to keep him here with us. Again, in the chat, there's a GoFundMe. I don't know if any of you are in position to help at this time, but if you are, there's no price or requirement to limit. So if there's anything you can give, please give and help support this family. Gifted, can you put that back in the chat for me one more time, please? And also share it in your spaces, share it on your IG, your Facebook. You don't know who can help, who's in position to help. And I know it's not easy to ask for help. Something that we have to find ourselves humbling when we come across to these points in life. I say that for myself a lot because I can be real stubborn, knowing that I can use some assistance, but my pride to get in the way and deter me from whatever blessings that could be amiss. We have to stop waiting till we get to these points that are so detrimental for us to help one another before we ask for the assistance that's necessary. Again, so please, if you can help in any way, form, or fashion, please do. Whether you reach out in this manner or if you get in touch with Nemo, maybe he can connect you directly with the family and be a assistance in that way. I think I'm gonna share now. And then after I share, we'll welcome Messiah. Say, y'all please show some love for Mrwitzthepoet.
Mr. Witch.
Hair looking good, brother.
Thank you, love.
Welcome.
Yeah, I'm working on it. It's starting to do what it do. I like this style that it's in now. I know I need some weight, so I'm looking to get maybe some sort of hair charms that can help give me the tug that I need. If you know anyone that's like has some silver pieces or maybe some copper wiring, those are the type of things that I'm interested in. This first piece I'm going to share is new. I'm still working on it, so this is the first time I'm going to read it out loud. It's untitled at the moment. They say the pen is mightier than the sword. That all depends on how you use it. From style to grace, it's in the way you utilize the wrist-to-hand coordination. When it comes to delivering a message, a weapon tends to get the most prompting result. When the moment comes for you to be influential, what will be your tool of choice? They say the pen is mightier than the sword, notably the most effective. I wonder how they calculated the level of damage to draw on such a conclusion. What unit of measurement tallied a higher amount to be slaughtered by the ink? Did they match the most skilled swordsman they had to the most profound penmen in a clash? Weighing the method and the penetration displayed by each to their etch in stone. Did they single out a literary poet to spar against the techniques of a medieval glaive? How many versions of Arthur versus author were simulated before a decision was made? Because you can swing a mighty blow with the use of a weighted blade in your hands. With effective force applied, you can take off an arm or decapitate a man, or you can penetrate a heart like a vampire state with the scribe issued by a feather pen. You can also attempt the destruction of a nation with war in a declaration. I wonder how they equated the balance, being how they are so different in comparison, from the steel gladiating an arena battle to a pen stabbing with the force of a javelin. Did they weigh the effect of a pen that the pen has on a crowd in a speech, conference, or poetry recital to the wow factoring giving to the offering of a warrior in battle? So much has to play in the voices of an audience. Their influence must have a place over judging, because I know a sword can kill off an army of combative soldiers one by one. I also know a pen can divide a whole family with a signed signature at the bottom of a document. They say the pen is mightier than the sword. That all depends on the amount of damage that can be done. Sometimes you just want to cut off a head or slice a forked tongue out a blabbering mouth. And other times you want to write someone off, removing them from your life. But maybe I'm viewing it in the wrong way. Maybe the ways lives taken against lives saved. I know that pens have saved more lives than any sharp-edged blade could sacrifice. Pens have breathalyzed and revitalized a whole community with just a few lines. I've also known swords have defended some lives in a fight for a country in honor of a family, but nothing like the way a pen has in the finger clench of a poet, battling against life-threatening diseases, taking on a system of corruption and judges, wording back in protective ways to save us from ourselves. The prayers writ from the blood of a pen have reconnected us all with God. And what's a pen without a message anyway? Could be it's just a sword. That's that first one.
Love your piece, Mr. Woods.
That was
I know about
that
unfinished, but
truly
it sounds amazing so far.
was very insightful and just very appropriate for everything that's happening right now.
Thank you. Again, I'm still working on that one. I may add to it. I may take from it. I don't know what's going to come of it. But I felt the need to share. This one right here is also a poet's piece. It's entitled "Purpose in Your Pen." I know there are poets that can tell you where their ink began, how its fluid pumped the beat in their hearts ever since then. The tattoos on their sleeves that are psalms turned to verses of how something tragic nearly ended their existence. I know poets that have talked themselves from suicidal ledges. Some that talk was offered through another poet's pledges. Poetry that revitalized the will to survive that had otherwise slipped away from them for some time. I've heard it from the wordsmiths saved by voices in their heads, wording them away from being the next noted depth. But I honestly can't say I share the same experience, puzzled in my being an earthly pieced coincidence. Was no rhythm in a wordplay that taught me vital lessons more vivid than the consequences of my own actions. The stage was the asphalt and concrete underneath me, and clearly life offered me 0 lessons in acting. Because if it was written to humble me from being an ordinance, then sharpened in accordance, it would have to be shown in my performance. Maybe Dad was going over lines when he ejaculated me in the impetuous passion he had for my mother. But I am not the survivor of a thought-attempted abortion. My birth didn't result in the execution of her. Even as a poem blooming inside of the womb, I wasn't at the brink of death when I found my pen. There was no quirky wordplay found in her placenta and hieroglyphic messaging. I find my pen. No poetry didn't save me. My life wasn't a page rewritten after editing the trials of my parents. I can't recall a rehearsed simile that redirected my life inside a metaphor, accepting the challenge. My pen found my hand in the form of an artist, way before I knew vocabulary could paint in pictures. As I grew into myself, I found purpose with expression beyond still actions I sketched in figures. But poetry never made a gun pointing in my face jam. In fact, when there was one, I was at a loss for words. My bars never got me out of handcuffs, a SWAT car, or kept me from being thrown in a slammer. I can't say I was suicidal, about to take my own life, and heard a verse powerful enough to find repentance. Not a stanza of a sonnet, spoken in a limerick, not a haiku, ballad, ode, nor a phrase in a sentence. Poetry did not save my life. Making sound decisions did. I never wanted to be remembered as the guy so real he had to die or keep a bunk serving a bid. So I graved over the thought of freedom when I wrote it. I pinned hope to living life in my quoting, praying those who came after me would hear me out. I only became a poet to give you something to think about. Don't trap yourself in a fight to survive. Ready to die before you find your pen. Live an example. Don't look near your end before you find the purpose in your pen. Peace.
I love that piece so much, Mr. Witz.
Yes.
Such a beautiful piece
Yeah.
with an
Thank you, brother.
awesome message.
Both phenomenal pieces. I like the way that you use your metaphors in your pieces.
I really want to read both of those pieces on paper just to see what they look like, how I hear them when I'm reading them, because I think you always have so many wonderful lines, but it's the way that they all kind of connect together with your voice, and I feel like but what's good about the words that you say is that they feel very universal to other people, and so they'll feel different in other people's voices. And when we're reading it to ourselves from paper, it's going to be a really great read.
Thank you for saying that, Generalissimo.
I love that you dropped the word survival in there. It's a really important little trip seed or threshold in that journey to step out of, kill or be killed, eat or be eaten, just to step out into that higher purpose. Survival wants to hold you back in there. I'm glad you dropped that word. And on the first one, I agree. That's one of those poems that you'll never stop writing. It's one of those poems that why do I write? What is writing? What is pen? What is ink? So you'll know when you get there, you're good at it. So I think that's a good thing that it feels undone. I always like to refer to Mona Lisa. It's like, why didn't the guy fix it? Is she smiling or not? It's never done. It's never done. It's never done. But there's a time when you got to let it go, just the way we got to let go. So they're both in that family, both those pieces. I love your work.
Thank you, Steve.
Mr. Wicks.
Hey, Mama.
It's amazing and wonderful to be on this journey as you live this life that you're living, this journey that you're taking, living and writing, how it's growing, how we're on this journey with you through this world. It's amazing and magnificent. Your growth is astounding from the moment I met you until this time, and it's ever evolving. Thank God for that, and thank God that we're witness to this.
Thank you so much. I truly appreciate you saying that. And to recant on what Generalissimo said, every piece of work that I put together will be packaged in binding. It's not so much about a profit for me. It's about making sure that message is available. As mothers and fathers of civilization, we all have children that look up to us. Even if you haven't birthed them yourself, know that there is an impact and influence that you have over someone. You can be a father figure for someone close to your age, just by the messaging that's been gifted to you. So again, I package my work so that message is here when it's time for me to leave this place. That it's remarkable how life works, but no one's here forever. But you can be through your works, through your messaging, which is all God-given. And if you don't utilize the message that he gives you, then he will also give it to someone else who will put it into his works. So I just try to be that impactful in my thinking and in my messaging. So I truly appreciate you saying that you were looking forward to getting these rights and being able to have them in front of you to read, because we know how the American language is so double-edged, sworded, with the way words play, having the same sound and having different meanings. And a lot of times, these are the reasons why I choose certain words because of that double entendre. And reading them will give you a new light as to hearing them in my voice. And I also believe that as a poet, not every message is a performance, yet it is a message indeed. So I script to scroll, if that makes any sense. But thank you all. I appreciate the love given from those messages. And we're gonna keep this room going. I don't want to keep everybody all night. Y'all please open up your hearts and your mics and let's show some love to our brother Messiah Payne.
Saya.
Thank you. So I'm going to get right to it. I have 2 poems to read, and they are both dedicated to Gustav, who had a similar spiritual perspective as to myself. And here they are. The first is called The Story of Time. Is time's abnormal recourse imparting an allusion to inherent or elusive limitation, a cosmic tryst in the relative and abstract variables of nature's irrespective resonance? Is time only to be grasped retrospectively, in hindsight, or retroactively, perhaps eternally, in a breakthrough of the numinous? Perhaps when we shed the material encumbrance of time's processive delay, we will find that time was a test to ensure that our souls bore the resemblance or lesson necessary to face cosmos, not as approximation, but as an unceasing visibility of what most incites our humanity. What's waiting just beyond time's conception? Is it a fractured existential remnant that is measured by our souls, mirroring the worlds our souls garnered in time's iridescent deceit, impelled not to return to the soul source, but what we've made of it? What could time tell us about our souls and their ultimate dimension? Is time the devastation of freedom, or a tacit reminder of the soul's freedom? Is time truly relative, or an absolute relation between universal attributes? To alight generously upon eternity, time must be recognized as conceptual minutia, that while a certainty possessed of immutable interest is merely a bee fertilizing the flower that is comprehensive mind, the feature of transparency, when finally the mind reveals its shape, the shape of its presence, as a lesion of existence, a dissonance in the appearances of being, life not as persuasive reason, but as infinite fertility, the unfounded blossoming of an unbounded miracle. And here's the second poem. It's called Conceptual Liberation. In the flower's genesis lies the subtle morphosis of the sun's simulated arousal, its promised fatality, gestating the bud of the flower's universe. In the eternal, perpetually and tumultuously fermenting, the seed of decay lies embossed in the mortal conceit of the body. As humanity prefers love, a god subject to rebirth inclines toward edifying being's artificial totality. These conceptual protractions, indeed the attribute of time as irrespective seeming, illustrate the schism of indelible existence. For where existence truly lies, the dichotomies and excitations of laborious absolution become frail and cease to titillate infallibly. Am I me for the purpose of you being you? Are you you for the purpose of a transient God? And does the cosmos impinge to be the unnecessary fruit of treacherous synergy, infinities emancipated from time to being? In this, you and I are permissible of restorative expression, potentiality's truest sense, explorative and sacrosanct. Where being's restive interest fades is where being most elaborates authentically, where you are no longer the expected you, the shadow of intention, is where the self is no longer held captive by unconscious blindness. Should we let life come as the instinct to fallible imagination, where love evolves to a state repulsing conceptual attribute, where the conscious self ignites the imagination, spreading beyond distinction, and where you see, like the first soul of the cosmos observing itself, perhaps the measure of what was the cosmos, the felicitous possibilities of being, forever free, in the effective boundlessness of human life, that before you know yourself or are prepared to exact the self's truth, is born in acute fragility, a passive instinct toward obtuse and impassive humanity. Thank you.
I think you've been here before, brother. Listen to you speak. I swear you talk like you've been here for decades. I swear, I'm like, my God, this young man. Thank you.
I think a little more like centuries, maybe an epoch or two.
Seriously.
Yeah. There's so many lines in there. There was one about humanity. It tripped me up. I wanted to write it down, and I can't bring it back. It was really complex. It was I can't grasp it. I'd have to read it again. It was beautiful though. Made me question something I write about a lot.
Yeah, to piggyback what they say, it always feels like your voice, your word choice, it puts us in any and every time of man. Like they said, it's like your journey. It's like a time traveler. You know, you've been here in many forms before now, and here you are, sharing your words, your message with us. Your word choice is always phenomenal, to say the least. So, you know, we are definitely grateful to have you in this
Thank you, Mr. Ware.
Thank you.
Brother. There's a saying, poet, prophet, mystic, sage.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
Messiah, are you working on any packages?
Packages?
Are you putting together a book or two?
Oh yes, I'm just a little busy right now, but I did write a book, yes, about a year or two ago that I'd like to see released.
I'm sorry. What's the title of it?
I think it's called Reflections on the Reveries of Being.
Say that one more time.
Reflections on the Reveries of Being.
Wow. Wow. And can we find it? Where can we find it?
No, not yet. It hasn't been released yet. I'm still looking for a publisher, the right publisher.
Okay, I got you. Well, I wish you luck on your journey. There's a lot of publishers in our community. You can always publish it yourself by buying your own ISBN, or there's also ISBNs that are I don't want to say given to you because you know there's a cost with everything. Like you know, when you utilize certain things, then they reap more of the reward than you would. But I commend you on your work and support you and edge you to get your message out because you have such phenomenal work for people to actually have, read, and to take their time with. And you know, time waits for no man. You know, I don't wish anything bad on anyone, but life is happening.
Right.
Some wicked things that's going on in the dark, and wickedness doesn't want to remain in the dark. It wants light. It wants to live and breathe. So it's happening. It's coming out, and we have to protect ourselves best way we can. And we have to make sure that these messages that have been God given get to those that they're supposed to get to and are available. All right.
Thank you.
Please, let's continue to work, and if there's any way that I can assist you, tap in with me, and I'll see what we can do.
Thank you, Mr. Witz.
Blessings, my brother. Blessings to you.
Can we follow Messiah Payne under that name, Messiah Payne? Mr. Witz?
Messiah Lorence. It's Messiah Lorence on Instagram.
Put
Okay,
it in the chat, brother, so that she can use.
Okay, yes, I will.
Yes. Can I follow you, young man? I might follow you out the door, but I'm going to follow you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. I love it. Y'all show some love to Messiah one more time, please.
I like that. Absolutely.
That's what's up. Let's keep the energy flowing, all right? Again, we are here tonight in support of our brother, the Magus Gustav Salas. Keeping our prayers up for him and his family during these trying times. There is a GoFundMe. It has been posted in the chat several times. I don't want to feel like I'm edging or anything, but if you are in a capacity to share or make a donation, please do so. And at bare minimum, please share it on your social media platform. You never know who's in position that's not amongst us at the moment who can help this family get through these trying times. So please share his information outside of this room. With that being said, let's open up our hearts and our mics and show some love to my food dog, the one and only Nemo, soon.
Thank you. Thank you, Witz. Thank you, everyone. We made it to Wednesday. Gustav, for those of you who do not know, had a second stroke. He hasn't been conscious today. He has pneumonia. He's been intubated. His sister is saying it's not looking great. But thank you so much for everybody that's your thoughts, and the amazing response on the GoFundMe. It's amazing to see. He's such a kind, loving man. He's always so fast to support, encourage. He loves poetry. He loves people. So we hope that he gets better soon. Miss him terribly. I'm going to read a poem that he saw the first draft of, and he said it was his favorite of mine. And then I'm going to try to get through the Moonlight Sonata and kicking the dust off because he always liked when I played. So many times I've watched this good thing get packaged. Gone from fresh on a shelf to wrapped in plastic in a barrel, 2 for $5 and 6 on Sunday. But it all tastes the same these days. But fuck it. We got 30 kinds of Oreos, so we're going to be okay when the bombs come down. Nothing sold here is made here, and no one who works here is making a dime. You can't call to get the hours because nobody's answering. Nowhere is safe when everyone is for sale, never was, and none of us are free. Found out today they make milk that tastes like what's left behind when the cereal's gone. Who bathes in this wastewater believing it blessed? Who feels accomplished having polished off the Lucky Charms, finding a warm soup of sticky milk their prize, and thinks this is nose in bowl good. This fulfills me. This validates a soul emptied by too many jingles, too many reasons to spend, to put those hard-earned dollars to work. 2 boxes of smiles, 2 times divided, 3 times free, and 4 times through the checking lane. No, you can't write a check. We don't do that anymore. We wear plastic chains these days. But fuck it. They gave me a payment plan, so we're going to get through this. 1 step, 1 day, $1, $2 at a time. And this is
Wow. I
the
love that piece. I love that.
Thank you. That was beautiful, Nemo.
Thank you.
Yeah, I felt that in my soul.
Can you hear
We hear you.
it? Okay.
Bravo.
That
Yeah.
one's for you, Gustav. We love you. Can't wait till you're back.
Wow. That's
Nemo.
just
Go ahead. Go ahead. Who's speaking?
that's a level of phenomenal. It's just unbelievable. It's just, and I love you say I'm going to try and get through it. But I mean, I'm guessing you could sight read, Nemo.
No,
You did that all by heart. You learned it by heart, one note at a time. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
to an extent. I've played for many years, but that piece I've played over and over and over and over.
wow. I mean, you got to live that and feel that to play that. That's a lot of that's a beautiful soul journey, and then you get to go through it, teach yourself it, and then give that to all of us. I really, we're blessed, and and Gustav is blessed for caring about him so much too.
Thank you. Yeah, it's all about Gustav.
Yeah,
And,
it's
how
never
much
about me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always it's about he's an amazing person.
Thank you for
Huge
doing
fan.
that piece, Nemo. It was absolutely beautiful. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was crazy to watch. When you go back and you see the replay on this, it started off when we can actually see you pressing the keys, but as you got into the piece, it totally disappeared, and all we seen is you and your hand gestures. And it was like you was playing on air. It was like we can feel you feeling the notes, and all we see is you just you playing. Again, it's just like you was playing in the atmosphere, like the music was was just in the oxygen around you. That was great to watch, Nemo. That was beautiful to watch, and I think you're really going to enjoy it when you see yourself on the playback. I'm proud of you, brother.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, y'all show some love for Nemo one more time.
I can't show love, man. I'm jealous.
We don't do that. We don't even do that. Remove that out of your vocabulary. In honor of my uncle, I had to make that statement.
But he's so amazing, man. I just want to say honestly, I'm just breath. I'm just voiceless. I don't have any. It was amazing.
Thank you, AJ.
Yeah, get that love up, man. You gotta remember words are magic, like Coach Josh Morse likes to say, words are magic. So when we speak, remember that we're casting spells, and we only want to make sure that those um, that cast is something that we truly wish and hope for one another. So make sure that you putting out that energy in the proper meaning, in the proper tense, even in sarcasm. You know, it's still a spell casted, and people gonna watch the playback. You know, at least I hope so. And when people don't know you, they tend to draw a conclusion by what they receive from you. So let's just be out, make sure that we're being 100% who we were meant to be when we deliver these messages. And uh, it's never too late. It's never too late for you to recite. I already have you in my list because it's necessary you're being here, especially during this time. So yes, I have you. But let's move forward so we can get everybody. Y'all please open up your hearts and your minds and let's show some love to Escape Artists. Congratulations
Escape
once
Artist.
again on your carry.
More Escape. Love you, Escape.
Thank you. I just want to say I first met the Magus in South Jersey. It was like totally random. It was when I was first getting into poetry, and like first starting to go to open mics. And I just looked up a random open mic in South Jersey, and it was like 420 friendly, so it was up my alley at the time. So I went, and then when I seen all the performers, especially him, go up, I never seen poetry perform like that. And then when he went up, he did this poem. Uh, it was a parody of George Bush, and it was just like epic. And I never forgot that. And then I saw him again here, and that's just crazy that it's such a small world because I didn't get like to perform that night because like I was so overwhelmed with like fear that I was like, I can't, no, I'm not gonna do it. So I didn't like talk to anyone, I didn't perform or anything, but like he stayed in my mind, and I'm like grateful for this room because I met him again here, and I was like, oh yes, I can follow him now. I can, talk to him. And it was just great. And it's been heavy on my heart to hear the bad news about him, but I'm wishing the best for him and his family. And I'm gonna do a poem that he liked. I think he liked it. I think he messaged me about this poem that he liked it. Anyway, it's called Bombs and Bodies. Bombs and bodies burst alike, falling fragile flakes. To die in wars we're forced to pay for, stealing our dreams to put them in the head of Zionist expressing devotion to destruction in the form of bombs. Death is endless. Mass production of bodies and bombs. Women in assembly lines birthing babies. Both will explode. Little bodies litter what used to be a street, now a burial ground. Propaganda searching the rubble for excuses to feed the public, to convince them war is just. It was Hamas. It was Al Qaeda. It was weapons of mass destruction. It was the Taliban. Wolf, wolf, I swear we were in danger. That's always the narrative. We know who's at the top. TOP, tech, oil, pharma. To them, the world is one large Gaza Strip, and we are all Palestinian, trapped between bombs and freedom, a siege on our food and water disguised as accidental chemical spills, preventing financial freedom with murderous inflation, wringing out dollars from my rib cage, expendable pawns in a money grab over resources, to kill for, to start a war. Bombs and bodies explode the same, stuck in a monopoly game, only we never pass go or get out of jail. That's the first one. And this one, it's new. I just finished it. I read it the other day on AJ's platform, but it wasn't finished. If I could find it in time. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm working on a million things right now. Since my baby's sleeping, I'm trying to get everything done. Then I get lost. Okay, here we go. I never put this pen down. The barrel never touches the ground. Stays between the corners of my frown, makes home in my mouth. And I birth new dawns with even a simple yawn. There are planets in this tongue. I carry truth in my fingers the way prophets carry the word of God between their ribs. The linen lives in a drought, begging for this ink to quench its thirst. There are no breaks or siestas, no place for poets to rest their achy souls. The scritta demands a story, a masterpiece, to lock away in her bosom for generations waiting in the uterus of time, to impregnate stumbling minds drunk with curiosity and birth knowledge. The words are always in orbit, rotating around these bones like the pull of the sun, spinning thought for eons at a time, There are planets in this tongue, by which I mean there are new things you have to see, but you can't get there with that vessel covered in old view. Chained to traditional views and gravity, these are experiences waiting for you should you ever build anew. God let us borrow his gift, as long as we promise to keep the Holy Trinity. In the name of the pen, the ink, and the parchment, vow to stay celibate to this writing. Don't fuck around with lesser things to betray the ink. Poets were never lucky enough to be gifted rose-colored glasses, rather plagued with X-ray vision, to see the truth beneath the Trojan horse perjurers hide in their eyes. No souls in their windows. Responsibility doesn't allow me to wade neck deep in bliss, basking in ignorance. The duty is mine, caged by obligation to graffiti it between the cracks of the brain tissue the blind man carries between his shoulders. It is why the universe resides in our palms. The ink won't take no for an answer, why I'll never put this pen down. Thank you.
Wow. Y'all show some love for Whisper Poet. Whisper Poet, I'm sorry.
Escape
Y'all show
artist.
some love for Escape Artists.
Yes.
I must say that there is now a true Holy Trinity that we have that we can all accept. I love that. The pen, the ink, and the parchment. I think you said so much, and that's another poem I would love to read because I feel again there's a whole universality in that poem for all of us.
Yeah, your pen has been doing some amazing things lately. Grasp it, living it, and I know you're on a journey again, expecting a new life. So again, congratulations for that. And it's showing through your creativity. You know, that new life in your pen.
Thank you, I appreciate it. And thank you for space and having me. Because I don't think I would have ever crossed paths with the Makers again. So I'm very grateful.
As we all are. Yeah, again, big love for the Makers, man. Yeah, I would have really, really liked to have embraced him in person and felt that energy directly, especially with how huge and impactful it is coming through a screen. You can only imagine it in person. Yeah.
Yeah, it was epic. It was epic. And I never forgot that. So when I seen him on the screen, I recognized him immediately because that's just something that you don't forget.
Indeed. Indeed. Thank you, Escape Artists, for making time for us and being here tonight. Y'all show some love to Escape Artists one more time, please.
Escape Artists. Always love hearing your pieces.
Right.
Awesome. I don't see any hands raised on my screen. So I'm kind of out of whack. Cece, I know you good. I see you waving. Thank you for letting me know because I don't know what happened. Like all the hands have literally dropped. Right now we're gonna bring in Mama Betty and then Cece, you'll be next. If there's anybody that I'm missing, please either put it in the chat or raise your hand. I don't know why it's been removed or if I've come to the end of those who want to share. I don't want nobody to feel pressured. So just if you want to put it in the chat, that's fine. or if you want to raise your hand on screen, that way I know you're looking to share tonight. But at this time, let's open up our hearts and our mics and show some love for Mama Betty.
Mama Betty.
Well, love you guys.
I
I had
read
the pleasure.
your piece today, Miss
Hmm?
Betty.
Huh?
I read your piece today on what
Oh,
I just want you to know.
Asante Sana. Asante Sana. But I am so grateful for this platform, for this room, this energy, for this is the place where I was introduced and first met the Magus. Such a joy. He is such a joy. But I wrote these two poems, not aware of his condition. So if you allow me, I just wrote these poems. I stand looking through foggy windows, surveying a garden overgrown with weeds, yearning for a birth, a renewal, if you will, of a love lost in a wilderness, dried, unkempt by nature. Ruby red roses planted in a circle of lavender, an unquoted longing, a request denied, a suckling drowned in water, a cacti on a desert floor. My heart quenched from wetness, satisfied no more. That's the first poem. And it's the second one. Smog, fog, poison, ill-filtrated rain, disease-infested concrete seep into shoeless feet, deep socks with holes, spring, gangrene in non-diabetic feet, buildings imploding, explosion, lead paint, asperosis redwood trees bend over, forgotten children, old folks, crawl, abandoned freeways, calcium deficient, brittle bones. I cannot foresee the storm. Malnutrition, riddled eyes, blinded by metal inbred vegetables. I hardly feel anything of substance. What was real is unreal. I may even be AI, an experiment, lacking the ability to see or feel. So let me enjoy this acid rain, a deterrent, on memory, a soulless stain. And that's the poem.
All right, Miss
It
Betty.
was beautiful, Mama Betty.
Wow.
Two beautiful and necessary pieces for this time. And I'm so grateful for this to be the space that a lot of us have encountered the Magus for the first time. It makes this room that much more special. Um, yeah.
Love you, Fuma. Beautiful pieces.
Love you, Fusan.
I love it. I love it. Y'all show some love for Mama Betty one more time, please.
Mama Betty.
Yeah, Mama Betty, that was beautiful.
Okay, we're gonna do CC, and then I got you after CC, Erica. If I'm missing anybody that wants to share, please make that knowledgeable now. I don't want to get to the end of the show and feel like I'm stumbling over anybody. So please make your presence known if you're looking to share. As of now, I got CC Ashagra, and then I got Brooklyn in the house. All right, so y'all open up your hearts and your mics and let's show some love to our brother CC Ashagra.
Come on, CC.
Hello, Mama. You're the best. I love it. Love you. You went dark on that one. I like that.
Yeah,
I liked it. Their poetry can handle it. Dying has been a huge theme in my life. I don't think I would have made it past 30 if I didn't understand that every moment I'm dead, and the next one's a gift. And I've been riding that train for a long time. And there's a lot going on in my life right now, and
one of the things that happened is there was this 300 people showed up, a bunch of artists put their art on a wall, this expensive restaurant laid out this huge spread, and they raised money for a dream of this woman who wants to build a house, and anybody that wants to die natural can go there. And it's called East Mountain House. So the guy gave a talk, one of the two people, the founders of the idea. And as soon as it ended, I walked up to him. I said, I wanted to run up and grab the mic and do a poem. They didn't know who I was or what I was doing there. And I said, I'm going to go home and I'm going to have to write a book of poetry for this place, where people can go and just let go naturally. And the first poem that came out, I'll read to you, and then I'm going to do a song. I got to pick between this thing that happened. But this is the first one that came out. And I got to imagine this is going to be a book, the vision of it that came to me, knocked me over the head with a rock, real literally. I got to write this. Is going to be next to a bed of a person who knows they're going to die. And writing with that vision, that hand holding word, like read this to me. Here, read this to me. I'm dying. The first one's called Dying. Dying. What a beautiful word. Imagine the most beautiful sunrise, and at the same moment, from a relative yet distant location on this earth, and other, as you, is imagining this same sun being experienced as the most beautiful sunset. And within this same breath of time, both realizing a shared vision coming true. Dying. What a beautiful word. So writing these things are really weird because it's like breaking your own heart, because you could just imagine what that would be like. And so I got this earworm, and all of a sudden I couldn't get Bette Midler's song out of my head. The Rose, just for like a week now. So I sat down, I found the chords, and so I got that. And but I'm going to do this other love song that I'm working on. It's called The Miracle of We. So, Gustav, I know you can hear me. You're a life form in a body, and we all are, and we come and go. And you know if you got something better to do, and you know if you got to come back and finish what you started. And I think that's what we can give to someone. Their free will to be here or go do what they got to do, you know, when time comes, especially if it's that choice, not, you know, keeping alive by a machine, a plug and unplug and vegetable, all that shit that people got to deal with and the living has to deal with. But the person dying is really what it's all about. And the person that's going to survive a brush with death, it never leaves Gustav. So I just wanted to say that we could celebrate either way, because the man is all about love. This is called The Miracle of We. Is it coming through?
Loud and clear.
Thank you. The way you make me feel is so much better. Better than the word I love you. The smile when you see me in your eyes can melt this heart of mine. You are wonder and dreams. You're the tender of air that lives to let love breathe. If I could only be this light. I hope you let love in. Too suddenly be rediscovered. The miracle of we. Where we understand the dance of life and the touch of every soul on fire and the cellular moving winds of we are dancing on the ground of we believe in the way we share love feels so much better than the word I love you. The way you make me feel is so much better than the words I love you.
Middle school.
Love songs.
That was amazing.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, CC. Really moving.
Thank you, CC. That was
Yeah,
beautiful work.
I remember when my father was dying, and my mother was like, Joe, don't leave, Joe, don't leave me. I mean, he this is a great little story. I don't want to take much time, but this is worth it. So my parents were musicians, and they played every nursing home in the state when they were older, because they never became the rock stars of the big band era that they were meant to be when they were starting out and got married. So they ended up with this little 4-piece band, and they played both of them said, I will never, ever end up in a nursing home. So when my father was dying, he played the system where if you call the priest and say you want your last rites, they have to wait 2 or 3 days for him to book to come see you. So he gamed them for a month because he said he wants his last rites 5 times. And then one day he was in dialysis and they fell asleep, and he woke up, and while he was asleep, they shipped him over. So we all ended up around his bed at the nursing home. And then at 1 o'clock, they has to go back for his daily thing, and he died at the hospital. But while he was there, we were all around him, and my mother, who didn't really have this side of her character, said, Joe, you know, if you're gonna go and you're staying alive just for me, I understand. And he let go. So, you know, Gustav is going to be where he is, and he's going to go where he goes, but his love is not going to die no matter what, either way. So that's all I got. Thank you for the time.
Well said, CC. I love you and thank you for the share. It's scary when it comes to stardom and being famous. I think your family did what they were supposed to do by being a service to those in the nursing home throughout their journey. The souls that they touched were purposeful. You can be on a stage touching millions of people and not ever make that connection. And then so many people have lost themselves in stardom. So grateful for the journey that they have and even for you sharing it with us here tonight. Thank you, brother. Y'all show some love to CC Ashagra one more time.
Thank you, Cece.
Thank you, Cece.
It's just, let's keep this energy flowing. Y'all open up your hearts and mics and show some love for Brooklyn in the house, Miss Erica Floyd.
Brooklyn in the house.
Brooklyn.
Hey, everyone. I appreciate Nemo probably reminding you guys, but this is the first that I heard of what's going on. I was just writing my thoughts, so I didn't title this. I wrote this a few days ago because of something I was dealing with, which you'll probably already guess. If only you knew, a verse made famous by Patti LaBelle. But when I use it, it is to say, you don't know my story. You don't know my pain. You don't know what I've been through and how I tried to stay sane, how I continue to remain, how I try not to complain. If only you knew my struggle to be an encourager to others, even though I go through a supernatural battle on a regular. To have an evil entity have me doubt myself, to question my past intentions. It's exhausting. It wears on me and makes me wonder why this individual can't move on, why this human won't own their actions, why they put me on this facade that they're over me, yet always breathe my name past their lips. Perhaps I should be flattered. Perhaps I should spin that to a positive. Perhaps I should be grateful that I am a constant on someone's mind, even if it's negative. That would make me quite important. That their life is so mundane that I'm the highlight of their day. But I must say, it's growing old, to say the least, considering I'm at the shorter end of my lifespan. I yearn for peace. And because they are not at peace, they're trying to wreck mine. And for a short time, I anguish over the accusations, the hearsay, questioning my past actions. So I pour my heart out to the implied victims, pleading for redemption and forgiveness for things I wasn't aware that I've done. Compelled to inquire simply because in addressing it. Closure demands to be imminent. I don't take any moment for granted. Must make it right. Point blank, period. I must say, I was relieved to receive confirmation from the so-called victims of my so-called selfishness and neglect that I wasn't guilty of the accusations, that this accuser was delusional. In fact, I was encouraged. I was understood. I was seen as a mother that did the very best she could. And most importantly, I was seen as a person who has needs just like any other, to have some form of self, even in the midst of parental responsibilities, that I am important enough to regain and maintain my individuality. If nothing else, I have tried to instill in my children that all we do, all that any loving parent does, is try to not make the same mistakes they felt their parents made. It's not to say we are going to be perfect, but in coming close to perfection in maturity, learn from your errors and make an effort to do better. Because as much as we'd like to, we can't go back and undo what was already done. And if you are a parent, you are grateful to hear your offspring say to you that they understand you and everything you have done in past to love them through adulthood was understood. That is its own reward. And I thank God. Indeed. Poem.
Message. It was beyond a poem, and that was so beautiful. Thank you for opening up and sharing with us tonight.
That
Thank
was
you.
beautiful, Brooklyn. Thank you.
I just get so tired of this man. I know this is a little too much, and I'm gonna try to be very, very quick with this. And y'all are my family, but the ex-husband, this is why I know I jokingly say it all the time, but I am the man in this scenario. I have never in my life dealt with a man that acts like he is a woman scorned, I swear. And he's in such denial of everything that he caused for this divorce, everything. And I'm just so tired of his fantasies and the negativity that he expresses to the children about me that's not even true. And for a while, my daughter was siding with him in the beginning of the separation and the divorce. She was believing things he said. He put a spin on it. And long story short, with the poem is basically saying, or my thoughts, is I had to call her because this bothered me so much. I was in tears because I'm like, I tried to do the best that I could. I thought I was a decent parent. And for my oldest child to tell me at one time she thought that I was neglecting her to go to the gym, he would tell them that I put the gym before them, which was a crock. I didn't believe it, but I wanted to make sure. So I felt compelled to text her and to ask her, for her forgiveness if she felt that I did anything damaging to them that they couldn't get over. And she called me right away and assured me, she said, Mom, if the man would tell you the sky's a different color, she says, I see you. She said, you needed something of your own. Until I became a parent myself and got older, she said, I realized I was stupid and I see you. She says, I know you needed something for yourself because I was explaining to her that I have struggled with my weight most of my life. And when I finally mastered being the fittest that I've ever been, that was something that gave me some confidence and some sense of self because I was a homemaker for the last 13 years of marriage. I gave up a lot. I could have re-enlisted and I didn't. I followed this man everywhere. And I'm like, how in the world does he tell my son that he tells my children that I was selfish and I put things before them, and that was not true at all. I'm like, my actions scream selflessness. I'm like, what? How? But my son, and I'm about to end this, my son Simeon, who is the youngest, it's like he's an old soul. He was like, Mom, I don't believe him. I see what you do. He's always had my back. Even from a very young age, he's been very, very observant, which I believe is why his father gives him a hard time now because he will not turn against me. He's so loyal. I've never had a problem with him in regards to actually seeing me, which is why my son, as soon as he can, he's like, I'm out of here. I got to get away from here because he's feeling pulled, not necessarily from me, but you guys know that I'm the visiting parent. I am the one paying child support to someone that makes crazy bank. And it doesn't make sense. Not to say that I would not want to help support my child. I don't have a problem with that. I'm the parent too. I get that. But what the court has done to me, being a survivor of domestic violence here in this state, is appalling, to say the least. And that's all I'm going to say. I appreciate your ear. I know it's late. Everybody got to go to work in the morning, and I think Gifted is waiting to speak. Thank you guys for being here for me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Erica, for everything. We love you. Appreciate you being naked in here with us tonight. Um, I want to say this because it's so important that we put our health before anything. So you're going to the gym should not have been something that played against you, because that's your lifeline, is your health. If you're not healthy, then you can't do anything for anyone, let alone yourself. So I commend you for taking that into consideration. Um, and as far as the spouse situation, um, when it comes to being separate, I think it's weak of any parent to talk and bring a bad light um, into the mind of their children about the other parent. I don't care if that's male or female. Um, it's just not something um, that will ever be respected in my eyes. I think the system has done enough with destroying our family unity that we should never um, forsake one another in that mannerism. So I appreciate you sharing that your message. I pray that it helps someone who else is in a similar situation when they hear your story. We love you, sister. Thank you so much.
Love you guys. Thank you.
You know, when someone hurts you like that, it's just straight up wrong from the get. It just is. You don't do that to love. Never mind a person. You just don't do that to love. You don't weaponize love, family, children. You just don't do that. So you can cut yourself some slack. There's I mean, I know some people who've dealt with narcissists, full blood, full narcissist, crazy, psycho, self-centered shit, and bipolar shit, where they don't even, like, two different, will hurt anything and everyone to be never wrong. And so I hope you give your heart some slack in that, even though you do have to pay for it and go through it because they're your kids. And when it gets under your skin, you gotta get it out. But I salute you in the work you're doing and the work you did, and you're gonna be okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for that, Cece.
Brooklyn, see, that's the gift of poem. That's the gift of poetry, that you can express that. And you know that we love you. You know you're loved.
Yeah,
Appreciate
Brooklyn, I
that.
just
Thank
wanted
you.
to say we love you.
I love you. I love you guys too. I can't even believe I said all of that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to burden y'all.
No, don't do that. You're good. You're good here. This is sacred territory. Don't take
Not
it
a
back.
burden. We're here for it.
Yeah, it was all good. You did us all a favor. Don't take it back.
You have to take that weight off yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can't carry that around. So it's freedom in that release. I hope you find that. And again, your message is going to help someone else who is dealing with the same thing and don't know what to do. You may even save their life. So thank you. Thank you for being free. Yeah. All right. Y'all show some love for Brooklyn in the house, Miss Erica Floyd, one more time.
Hey, Brooklyn in the house. We love you.
We love you.
Love you guys. It just gets old. I'm so tired. I'm like, I've been divorced since 2014, and he still does this. My son can't even have a relationship with his father because every time he tries to talk to him about anything, my name has to come up in a negative way. I'm like, really? When is this man gonna get on with his life? He got a new wife. Apparently he's not happy, but anyway, I must be quiet now. Gifted, come on with it, girl.
Brooklyn, just real quick. I'll never get tired of talking to you. You can call me, I don't care what the hour. You can call me on the phone, just need to vent, just call me. No shame in your game or mine, my ears, okay?
Appreciate that. Thank you. I'm just tired of it. He's taking all my money. I'm like, seriously, just what else? Never mind. I love you guys. I'm just done. I told you I'm the man in this relationship. It's funny to me, kind of, sort of. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I just needed to take a moment, and let's just breathe. Let's just breathe for a moment, okay? Thank you all. Tonight has been heavy. Um, we're all taking on a lot of emotion tonight, especially because of what our brother is going through. And in honor of him, um, I just think it's been a heavy room, um, but it's necessary. Every energy that is expressed is necessary, and you all are necessary. So let nobody hold that power over you um, when it comes to you um, and your importance in this world and in the life of your loved ones. Okay, we're going to move on to our final artist tonight, the other half of the show, my amazing partner. She does so much. I don't even know how she finds time to help me here in this space. And, it's just great having her, man. Y'all please open up your hearts and your mics and show some love to Gifted.
Hey, Gifted. Hey, girl.
Gifted.
Come on, Gifted.
Love you.
Love you, Gifted.
Guys, love you.
Home.
And love you, Brooklyn. So we're here. You have our numbers. Nothing wrong with needing a safe place to vent. So we love you. And we love Megas. I love Megas. And I wasn't gonna do anything tonight. Then I changed my mind because I wanted to send out great energy. Megas style energy to our friend, and hopefully he hears that and all of our poetry, all of our works, and just know that he's loved. And we're lifting him and supporting him and his family in this journey. So I couldn't really find pieces that spoke to me in that voice of Megas, but I just I'm going to render these pieces and hope that it would be something that he would have enjoyed, or when he hears it, he will enjoy. So. This is hide. Don't hide from me. Silent rage through the night, enrapture my dreams. Just sing to me with soft rays of your luminous light. Don't hide from me. Whisk thine eyes into a deep trance, mesmerizing my thoughts into a longing, captivating captivity of your sweet embrace. Sound of your voice, unobscure yourself from the wrap of your fear to reveal your shine to all of us. We feed from you and your voice and your energy through the screen. We feed from you. Is it too much that we take all that you give? Don't answer that. Just wait. Wait till I camouflage my normal being, minimize my need to receive your seed, and I'll interlude my desires. Wait. Just don't hide from me. Share all of your splendor with thine, the way that it should be, all the time. We want to hear you, your voice, your sound, your boom, your energy, your breath, your being, your love. Surround us once again the way it should be. Don't hide from me.
Oh, gifted, real quick, gifted. Imagine us in the church and how the old folks, something good comes over us and they say, look at me, gifted. And they say, well.
Well, I got it. Oh gosh, thank you for that, Miss. It's been a night. Oh gosh. All right, thank you. I needed that. This next piece, I know. I thought I had something, but I couldn't find it. Megas loves like politics, and a lot of his poetry has the theme of politics, or right and wrong. So this is a blend of some of that, and then also in honor of Juneteenth, today being Juneteenth. They try to silence us, change the narrative of our views, redefine the just us and our justice. Like what we talking about, don't mean a thing. Alley cat filtering our cries for peace. Our cries for, our reparations. Even the very breath that we take. But our voices will resound, ring loud and above the stench of noise that we normally hear. Eyes wide open this time, and we will rise, because we will build power of healing and freedom. Black lives matters, and Black voices do too. Change is on the horizon. Movement ushering in. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change will come as the waters run deep in my soul and yours. Our season is here, so we will be heard. We will be heard. Our voices will resound and be heard. Yes, it is.
God, I love your delivery. Love
Thank
it.
you.
If you guys ever meet Gifted in person, to see this huge special gift come in the package, this shell that is represented, my God, it is just awesome.
Thank you for that. I love you.
Brooklyn, I met Gifted in my dreams. We fist fight in my dreams, and she knows why.
That was beautiful, Gifted.
But you seem like this is Gifted. Lord, all of this coming in this package, that is insane. And she can dance too.
I love dancing. Oh gosh, I love it. Thank you all.
I love you,
We
Gifted.
needed
You know
that.
I love you, Gifted. Oh,
I
she was-
love you too. I love you too.
Well, this is the perfect way to end tonight. With that high energy that we know of Megas. Very, very honorable. So on point with your message, Queen. And you know, I have the joy of experiencing you and knowing what they're saying about you is so right. You're so much of an energy. I don't even think you know how important you are to people. Upon seeing you, it's just so much joy in you. I don't even know how you contain all that, but it's busting out of you. It's all in your smile, and when you
It
have,
sure is, baby.
yeah, yeah. And when you have the moment to address the crowd and pour into them, it's always phenomenal. It's always impactful. And you know, you just gotta have that in-person interaction. Like these screens, they limit us from the energy that we can actually feel when we're amongst each other. You know, everything is vibrating. So when someone is radiating towards you or amongst you, you know, you feel that. You feel that, and you know that's just who you are. God given and protected. You know, so I'm honored to have you. We're honored to have you. And yeah, you did a great job tonight. Thank you for helping to facilitate the space. And thank you for helping to honor Makers in the best way.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you, Escape Artists. Good night to the baby.
Yes, good night.
Thank you, Mr. Ritz. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Just sending good vibes to Megas. I'll just say the Megas.
I just want to say thank me, and I want to go, yeah, Wits.
Yeah, Wits.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
I love it. I
that
love
down,
it.
man. Yeah, yeah. I love the Vegas, man. I know you all do.
God,
Who's that saying something?
It was me.
So y'all are awesome, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, with that being said, I think I'm gonna close out. I want to thank you all for coming, helping to celebrate our brother. And again, please share his GoFundMe on your social media platforms. You know, so we can help his family do right by him during this time. Right. I love you all. Thank you again for coming, sharing, and being a part of this space.
Thank you, Wits. Thank you.
They love you too.
Thank you,
Thank
Nemo,
you.
too. Thank you.
Coach, thank himself.
Yeah. Ja, I don't even know what I'm gonna do with Ja.
Y'all have a great night.
You
Thank
all
you,
have a
AJ.
good night as well.
And then keep that Juneteenth going for another 365. It'll be here again tomorrow.
Absolutely.
I know that's right.
Good night, you guys.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Good night.
Good
Have
night.
a good
Mama.
night, Miss Betty.
Thank you, everyone. Love you.
Thank you.
Are you serious?
Good night.
Good night. Thank you,
Is that
AJ.
the grandbaby?
Love you, bro. Yeah, that was her grandbaby.
Aww. I love her.
Oh,
He
that's
gave
so
those
good.
words. That's
Oh
so
man, that's our brother, man. That's our brother.
love it. I love that.
All right, I'm
Go
out.
ahead and
Good
stop
night.
the
I'll let
recording.
y'all. Wits, go to bed.
All
It's
right.
37.
Yes, bed. Yes.
Thank you, brother.
Gifted, I sent you a text, okay?
Yes, sir.
Don't
Oh.
show Wits.
Oh wow.
Now you sound
Oh,
like
wow.
Miss Betty.
Look, I'm giving Wits a run for his money.
Oh Lord, don't show it.
All right, I'm out. Love y'all, man. I'm out.
Love you too. Man.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. All right, babe.
Trying to stop the recording.